देवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी भानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंश कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतलक्ष्मीतराधनाथ स्वामी नामिने नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतलक्ष्मीते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषण्यवादी पाश्चात्य दिष्टारम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यो। हरे कृष्ण। So welcome. We are discussing today the 7th chapter of the 8th canto. This is entitled Lord Shiva Saves the Universe by Drinking Poison. We are discussing the beautiful pastime of Samudra Manthan, the churning of the milk ocean. And we are at a very interesting juncture in this pastime. We are at that part of the pastime where Lord Shiva saves the day, saves the situation by drinking the halahal poison. So in the previous class, we were discussing about how when Lord Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, finally appeared in front of the Devatas headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, gave his darshan. Of course, the Devatas couldn't see his personality, but Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma could see the beautiful transcendental form of Lord Hari. And the Lord's advice to the Devatas was, now is not the time for you to take the demons head on. So I know you want all your power back, and for that you should secure Amrit from the milk ocean, but you can't do this job alone. You will need the help of the Asuras. So, at least for now, make truce with them. You both work out an arrangement by which you can work cooperatively, at least for now, to get the Amrit. And don't worry, the rest, I'll be around. I will manage the situation for you. Don't worry. So, being encouraged by Lord Vishnu like that and having full faith, that is the Special quality of the Devatas. Devatas have full faith in the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they immediately agreed. They went to, and Lord Vishnu specifically instructed, use the Mandara mountain as your churning rod, use Vasuki as the rope for churning. So first, the Devatas headed by Indra went and discussed with the leader of the demons, the Asuras, Bali Maharaj. And even though some of the other Asuras were a bit suspicious, they weren't sure whether this should be done or not, Bali Maharaj immediately agreed. Yes, this is a good proposal. And they both agreed, 50-50. The outcome we will share. Of course, the Devatas, because of the blessings of Lord Vishnu, in their heart they knew that they have no intention of sharing the Amrita. But likely the demons were also thinking in the same way in their own heart. But both knew that it was not possible to achieve their desired result without cooperating with each other. So for this reason, they agreed to work with each other, at least externally agreeing to cooperate. We also discussed in the last class how they had to move the Mandara mountain, a very, very huge mountain. Mountains cannot be just lifted by a crane and taken. So the Devatas and the demons together, because either of them couldn't manage that task by themselves, both of them were lifting the mountain and trying it to move it, but even that was so difficult, so difficult. Finally, the mountain fell down when they were unable to carry it any longer. They had to carry it from almost the Ilavarta Varsha all the way to the Milk Ocean, which is on the bank of the Plakshadvipa. Long distance, long distance. Finally, it fell down and so many of the Devatas and demons were crushed. Lord Hari, Lord Ajita appeared there. He, first of all, he lifted the mountain with his hand effortlessly, being the Supreme Lord. He revived the Asuras and the Devatas who had lost their lives or were severely injured. And in a moment, they were transformed to be practically fully back to health, not even a bruise on their body. And they were so happy. They had become so dejected when the mountain had slipped from their hands and crushed so many of them, but now they were again enthused that again they have been restored to life. And Lord Vishnu, understanding the situation. Lord Vishnu was doing all this because he wanted to have some fun, some pastime for his Leela. So he said, okay, you have labored enough. So the Lord took the Mandar hill on the back of Garuda and came to the bank of the Milk Ocean. So now when they came to the bank of the Milk Ocean, the next mountain is moved, the churning rod is there. The next is the rope. So Vasuki needs to be summoned. So who is Vasuki? Vasuki is a very, very powerful. He's the king of the snakes. He's staying in the Patala region, in the lower realms, in the Bilaswarga. Very, very powerful. He's the second son of Kashyap and Kadru. Kashyapa Muni had many wives, Diti, Aditi, Kadru, Vinita, and so on. These four are amongst the prominent ones. The sons of Aditi are the Devatas, the sons of Diti are the Daityas, the sons of Kadru are the snakes. So Kadru has many sons, out of which there are a few prominent ones, but number one is Shesha. The Shesha on whom the Lord rests. One of the sons of Kadru. The elder brother. Who's the second one? The second is Vasuki. Vasuki snake. Very, very powerful. The Vasuki snake is sometimes also credited to be the snake who coils himself around the neck of Lord Shiva. Is also referred to as Vasuki. Very, very powerful snake. So they went to Vasuki. The Devatas and the demons together went to Vasuki and appealed to him that, we need your help. Can you do? Said, why should I do like that? What is in it for me? Why should I be the churning, the rope for the churning? To churn is one thing, but to be a rope is going to be a very painful activity. So he was not very keen, but when he was told that we will also give you a share of the nectar, Amrit, when it is produced, that inducement was too hard to resist. So in this world, nobody does anything for free. So even Vasuki had to be promised a share of the Amrit before he came to the point of agreeing. And at that point, he joyfully agreed, I will also get Amrit. Then I can also live a very, very, very long life. So as soon as Vasuki the snake appeared in that place, very powerful, very huge snake, along with the Devatas and the demons, Lord Ajita, who's on the side of the Devatas, was there. And immediately as soon as Vasuki came, Lord Ajita, knowing the mentality of the demons, quickly Lord Ajita went and, as Vasuki coiled around Mandara hill, Lord Ajit went and held the side of Vasuki, which was near the head. As soon as Lord Ajita held that side, all the other devatas following or taking cue from the Lord, they all went to the side of the head of Vasuki and started holding the rope, ready to pull. Now the demons, they were thinking, immediately they became suspicious. Why Lord Ajita and all the devatas rushed quickly to take the side of the head? That must be better. And yes, according to Vedic knowledge, the side of the head is better. The feet are considered the lower part and the head is considered the higher part. So we should get the higher part. Why? Because we are very qualified. We are so knowledgeable. We are such advanced students of Vedic knowledge. They were thinking, we are so advanced that we should hold Swadhyaya Shruta Sampannaha. We are so learned. We should hold the side of the head of Vasuki. Why the Devatas are holding? So they went over to the Devata and started complaining, no. We are very high class people. We are so much more accomplished than you. Prakhyata Janma Karma. And we have done such great things. So don't come and grab this. This side, the head side is for us to take. The tail you all can hold. So Srila Prabhupada very nicely comments that the nature of the demons is whatever the devatas will do, the demons will do exactly opposite of that. Or rather, in the sense, they will counter them. Either do exactly opposite or they will counter whatever they do. That is the nature of the demons. There's this wonderful definition of the devatas, suras and the asuras. Vishnu bhakta smruta daiva. Asura tad viparyaya. Whatever the devatas do, the asuras are viparyaya. They are opposed. The demons oftentimes may be externally also very learned. Take examples of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, all these demons. Ravan, very learned in scriptures. But the Asura study scripture and get learning and PhD and maybe big scientists of nowadays. They don't use their knowledge to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their knowledge is meant for understanding how to manipulate the material energy and how to exploit her more. That is their objective. Vedavada rata nanyad astiti vadina. Think that the be all and end all of all knowledge, including Vedic knowledge, is to enjoy the senses, enjoy an opulent life, enjoy sense control. Enjoy the senses. Nanyad asti iti vadina. There is nothing else beyond this. That is the consciousness of the materialistic. Swadhyaya Shuta Sampanna. Prabhupada says this kind of mentality will always be there. The demons will think the devatas are useless. The demons will be proud of their knowledge, but their knowledge will never lead them to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why they never have actually true knowledge. What knowledge they have is actually avidya, even though they are studying the Vedas. Just study or reading of the Vedas is not adequate. One has to sit at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and be properly instructed. One has to surrender to the Lord and the Guru in a spirit of service. Then only true knowledge can be revealed. So the demons were thinking, we want to hold the head part. Devatas, you go and hold the tail part, which is the low class part. So actually, Lord Ajita was very clever. Lord Ajita very well knew of this kind of an attitude or mentality of the Asuras. So deliberately he went and held the mouth part first, because actually Lord Ajita knew that holding the part of Vasuki which is near his hoods is actually not good. Why? That is going to come soon. Why is going to come soon? So the Lord deliberately went and held the held part quickly in a haste so that the demons will suspect, oh, there must be something better here. So they said, no, 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 no. Us, we will hold this part. You go there, you go there, you go behind. So in this way, Lord Ajita tricked them. So when the demons argued that, no, you have to go there, we will be here. And the Bhagavatam says, without any argument, very quietly, Lord Ajita said, okay, you are so learned. You are so wonderful. You are so skilled. Okay, you hold this part. We will go and take the humble position of holding the part of the tail. Without much protest, quietly they went. And the Devatas, even though they did not exactly know what is about to happen, having faith that Lord Ajita knows exactly what he is doing, they quietly followed with him without protesting this whole situation. All went and quietly held the tail. The demons, they are tightening their collar and their tie, saying, yes, see, we are first class people. We have pushed the Devatas to the tail region of Vasuki. So that is the demon. Because the demon is never interested in pleasing the Supreme Lord. The demons don't want to be obedient to the Supreme Lord. They want the knowledge that the Lord gives in the Vedas, but they want to use that knowledge not to surrender to the Lord. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadite. One who is truly in knowledge after many, many lifetimes. He takes shelter of me by understanding that Vasudevaha Sarvam. Vasudeva is everything. What is a demon? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Namam Duskrutino Mudha Prapadyante Naradhama Mayaya Aparta Jnana Asuram Bhavam Ashrita. Those who have Asuram Bhava, the mentality of the demons. What is the mentality of the demons? The atheistic nature. They want to rebel against the authority of the Lord. They want the whole civilization to be based on sense enjoyment. So the devotees and the demons, this is a perpetual conflict which goes on. So the Lord, being the smartest of all, very smartly ensured that the demons are tricked. So Lord Ajita quietly went to the other side and he was smiling. And the Devatas also followed with him. Kritasthana vibhagashahata evam Kashyapanandanaha mamanthu paramam yatta amritartham payonidhim. Payonidhi, this whole ocean of milk. Is starting mamanthuhu. Mamanthu means they started churning. On one side, near the tail, the demigods were pulling, and the other side, which is the head, the demons were pulling. They were churning this Mandara mountain, which the Lord had just placed into the ocean, and they held Vasuki tight around it, and they started churning. But is it really possible just to keep a mountain in the middle of the ocean and use a snake and just churn it like that? The mountain has no support. How is the mountain going to just simply remain afloat? And indeed, as soon as they started and churn, the whole Mandar mountain sank into the ocean of milk. Anadharo hi apo avishat. Anadhar, not having any support. Apo avishat, it sank into the ocean. Even though the demons and the devatas were struggling very hard to churn, sank. No support. And along with the sinking of the Mandara mountain, the hearts of the devatas and the demons also sank. So much hard work we did, we convinced the demons, we got crushed under the mountain, we somehow brought it here, then we convinced Vasuki. Just see, even if you are a devata, even if you are Indra and family, don't think that if I go to Swarga, everything will be fine. Just see what Indra and the devatas have to go through. It's not that they just went to the ocean of milk and Lord Vishnu came out with a pot of Amrit. The Lord gives the wisdom, but the jivas are still expected to exert themselves to achieve what they want to achieve. These are important lessons for us. Sometimes we as sadhakas, we just have some, overly romantic expectation that I will just go, I will just pray, oh Krishna, please do this, and everything will, around me will transform. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam payantite. I will give them the intelligence, I will give them the support. They have to do the hard work. Correct? It's not that if you want to lose fat and build a muscular body just by buying a gym subscription, you will start losing weight. Is it? Does it happen like that? Just buy gym subscription and look at the gym subscription every day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour. No, just buying subscription, you have to go to the gym. Not just go to the gym, you have to work very hard. You cannot say, oh, I gave money to a personal trainer, now I'll be thin. No, personal trainer will tell you what to do, but you have to do. He's not going to exercise for you. You have to lift the weight. Correct? So Krishna is expecting even the big devatas. Work, you have to put the effort. I am helping you, I am there to support you. Wherever you are falling short, I will jump in and save the day. Don't worry. Because you are my devotees, I'll do that. But don't think because you are my devotees, I will bring it in a tray and give it to you in your hand. That is not going to happen. So both the demons and the devatas, when they became very, very dejected, and Lord Ajita saw both of their faces. Vilokya Vignesha Vidhim Tadeshvaro Duranta Viryo Avitatha Vishandhi Ritva Vapu Chachapam Adbhutam Mahat Pravishatoyam Girim Ujjahar. Lord said, okay, last time you couldn't lift the mountain, I had to lift the mountain for you. Now The mountain cannot be kept afloat. Now I have to come back and help, because these things are not within your capacity. You tried according to your capacity. Whatever is not according to your capacity, once you have put in your best effort, then I can help. You can't be lazy and expect me to do the work for you. But if you have done your best, yes, I am happy to come and make up for your deficit. Prabhupada also says many times, God helps them who help themselves. God helps those who help themselves. Which means we cannot just pray and expect something miraculous to happen. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati tells a wonderful story that, we have to use our intelligence and our energy to do something. We cannot just expect that, God will do it for us. He explains a very nice story. He explains the story of once there was a very big flood in Bengal. And there was one man who was sitting on top of his hut, which had practically fully been submerged except for the top roof. And he was sitting on the roof and he was praying to the Lord. Save me, save me, save me, save me, save me. So after a long time, after he prayed very hard, the Lord arranged in such a way that there was a boat who was rescuing stranded people. It happened to come near the hut. The boat saw this person, oh, he's stuck and he'll die. So they came to him and said, come, come, we are coming and saving. So this person who was standing on the roof said, no, God is going to come and save me. I'm waiting when God will come on his Garuda and he will take me on his back and save me. So he refused to get on the boat. He refused to do what was in his position when God had arranged for him to be saved. And Bhaktivedanta Saraswati says the boat had to go eventually and finally he was drowned. So we have to use our intelligence and we have to use the means that the Lord has given and work in an intelligent way to progress ourselves or to even counteract the challenges that life will throw at us. This is a very important lesson. Sometimes we as devotees become very naive and think that I will just sit and pray and, yeah, sometimes things may just get fixed only by praying, but Krishna expects us to not just pray, but to also use God-given intelligence and God-given abilities to deal with the situation in a positive Krishna-conscious manner, to deal with it. And then if anything falls short, the Lord says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. If there is a lack, I will provide. And whatever you have, I will protect. Yoga Kshemam. So when the Devatas and the demons, despite their best efforts, couldn't keep Mount Mandara afloat and they had no idea what to do, the Lord did a trick. It is said the Lord transformed himself into a huge tortoise. Lord Kurma. And he lifted the Mandara hill on his back and kept it afloat in the ocean on his back. And he remained under the mountain. How big was this Kachapam? Kachapam means tortoise. How big was this Kachapam? 1 lakh yojanas. 1 lakh yojanas. Do you have any idea how much is 1 lakh yojanas? 1 lakh yojanas means it is 8 lakh miles. Tam uttitam vikshakulak chalam punaha samudyata nirmatitum surasuraha dadhara prashtena sa laksha yojana. Laksha yojana. Laksha means 1 lakh. yojana. Each yojana is roughly 8 miles. 8 lakh miles. The back of the tortoise of Kurmadev, 8 lakh miles. Can you imagine how big that is? That is much, much bigger than the whole earth. 8 lakh miles. Because they're not, Earth is a very small planet in Bharatvarsha. Huh? Correct? Which is in Jambudvipa, which is amongst the inner ring. This milk ocean is on the outer rings of the Bhumandala. So huge, so vast. 1 lakh yojanas is the size of the tortoise. So can you imagine how big Mandar Hill would have been? It was almost like a huge floating island on which the Mount Mandar was resting. And in this way, being supported by the Supreme Lord, the demons and the devatas again became very enthused. And again they resumed journey of the milk ocean on the back of the Adi Kachapa, the original tortoise. The Bhagavatam makes a very interesting commentary on this Adi Kachapo. Bibhrattad avartanam Adi Kachapo. Mene anga kanduyanam aprameyaha. For Kurmadev, it wasn't a burden. In fact, Kurmadev was enjoying the churning. Why? Because as the churning was happening, the mountain, the rocky, huge Mandar hill was on the back of Kurma and was rotating left and right. As it was rotating on his back, it is said, it was scratching the back of Kurmadev. Scratching massage. And Kurmadev was enjoying that massage as if he's in a, lying down in a spa with some masseurs massaging and scratching his back the full time. For the Lord, everything is Leela. Kanduyanam. Kanduyanam means a pleasing scratching. So for the Lord, it wasn't a burden on his back. It was a pleasurable massage. So, sometimes we also like to take massage. So all this inclination is also there in the Lord, because it is there in the Lord, it also is there in the living entities. The Lord also likes his feet being pressed, his back being scratched. Yeah. So the Lord took service. Even though it wasn't the specific purpose of the devatas and the demons to give a scratching back massage to Lord Kurmadev, the Lord being the Supreme Lord is intelligent to engage all living entities in his service for their good fortune. The Lord was having a good time. Then the Lord saw that the devatas and the demons were churning and churning, but they were becoming weak. So to increase their energy to continue the churning, because this wasn't a 5 minutes churning, right? Like, nowadays you put something in a mixer and we just press it within few seconds, done. So they were supposed to churn. It is not mentioned here how long, but it was a pretty long period. It said it took a very long time, and the demons and the devatas were feeling weak, and the Lord not only had to support the mountain from the bottom, but he also gave energy and strength to the demigods, to the demons, and to Vasuki, who was being used as a snake. It is said the Lord enthused or energized the devatas by giving them sattva guna more. because they are energized by Sattva Guna. For the demons, he gave them a Rajoguna energization because they are energized by Rajoguna. And Vasuki, being a snake, he got energized by Tamoguna. So different kinds of modes energize different individuals. So that's why those who are divine, godly people, they get energized when the environment is in the mode of goodness. They are repelled by Rajogun, Tamogun, but demons are excited by Rajogun. If they are in a too saintly, too temple-like environment, after some time they'll feel very uncomfortable. Then the natural environment, when the environment is full of vigor and activity and greed and competition, that is the natural environment. So according to the various modes, all these various kinds of entities were enthused by the Lord, so that they get the energy to continue to do this. It is said, even as they continue to do with force, and even though the mountain was resting on the back, supported by Kurmadev from the bottom, it is said the mountain was still not stable. Correct? Will it be stable? You're with a rope, you're just rotating it. It was going sometimes this side, sometimes this side. So to give stability to the mountain, the Lord Ajita, manifested another form on top of the mountain Mandara with 1,000 hands and gave support to the top of the mountain so that the whole mountain is stable. From bottom by Kurma support, from the top by Lord Ajita, so that the mountain is stable and moves, rotates around the pivot and around the axis, not the pivot, the axis, in a stable way so that the churning can go on properly. So when the Lord appeared like this, Lord Ajita with this 1,000-armed form, Brahma, Shiva and all the other devatas headed by Indra started offering prayers and flowers upon the Lord. So in this way, very beautifully, Upari Adaha Chatmani Gotra Netrayoho Parenate Pravishata Samedhitaha Mamanthur Abdhim Tarasa Madok Kata Mahadrinak Shobhita Nakar Chakram. Finally, after much endeavor, the whole churning process became stabilized. And as the Asuras and the Devatas with great force started properly churning the milk ocean after this stabilization, they said the churning was creating so much disturbance in the ocean. There is nothing more agitating to water body than a churning. Imagine huge mountain being churned in that ocean. The whole water is, this whole milk ocean is getting agitated, and this milk ocean is not uninhabited. It is inhabited by big aquatics, big whales and so many other kind of fishes. And all these fishes started getting agitated. The alligators who were in the water were also getting agitated. But despite all this agitation, the devatas and the demons continued to churn the ocean of milk. Now, devatas and demons, definitely they were exerting themselves. But more trouble than the devatas and the demons, the maximum trouble was being endured by Vasuki because he was being used as the rope for churning. His body was being pulled in both directions and the body is rubbing against the side of the mountain as it is being churned. It was painful. They said Vasuki. He was of course enduring this trouble because he was hoping to get Amrit. It was so painful for him. It is said that this Vasuki, who has many, many hoods, he's a multi-headed Naga. It is said smoke and fire was coming out from his mouth. And can you imagine when smoke and fire is coming out from the mouth of Vasuki, who is it going to affect? Obviously, the demons. Why? Because the demons had specifically insisted that they want to hold that part of Vasuki which is near the head. So, as smoke and fire was coming out from the nostrils and the mouth of the hoods of Vasuki, the direct first impact of this smoke and fire was directly on the demons. The demons are getting burnt crisp, like a burnt toast in a toaster. Smoke was torturing them like anything. All these demons, some of the names are mentioned. Paulo, Makale, Bali, Ilvala. It's tormented by this, like a forest fire in all directions. And they were being burnt like when there is a forest fire, they said the Sarala trees get burnt very quickly. And all that remains is, a bare tree. Similarly, the demons were getting burnt crisp. And they were terrified. They didn't know what to do. And now they didn't even know whom to blame. Normally, when demons are in trouble, they will blame the other party. Now, how to blame? Because Lord Ajita had already tricked them. So they themselves had insisted that we want the head part. So the demons couldn't even blame the devatas like this. It is said the fire and the smoke was so bad that even though the demons were directly affected, the smoke and the fire was also affecting the devatas. Can you imagine what kind of heat and smoke was produced in all directions? So when Ajita, the Lord, saw that even the luster of the devatas is getting reduced because of this fire and smoke, the face of the devatas were getting blackened by the smoke. The Lord said, okay, I have to take care of the devatas. He said the Lord manifested clouds on top of that ocean. And those clouds started pouring rain on the devatas area to give them relief from the heat and the smoke. It said beautiful breezes started flowing there, carrying this the particles of water like a beautiful cooling spray. Nowadays they do now outside restaurants along the sidewalks. They'll have this spray, water spray. The breeze will carry the spray and one feels very cool. It cools the environment quickly. So this was the natural spray organized by Lord Ajita. So even in this danger, the demigods were protected by Lord Hari. But despite all this trouble, it is said that until that point, even though they had continued to churn the ocean for a long time already, even then, despite their best effort, it is said the nectar did not come out. And as the devatas were feeling hopeless, that we are trying so hard but still nothing is happening, again Lord Ajita, feeling pity on them, just see every step Ajita is helping. He took over the task of churning. Personally started churning the ocean. He's saying, you tried your best, now you can't do anymore, now I will do. See, every time, for every activity, the Lord waited for them to try their best, and as soon as they fell short, the Lord intervened and helped. Very beautiful lesson. Same like what we have been discussing. Megha Shama Kanaka Paridhihi Karna Vidyota Vidya Yuhu. Very beautiful form. The Devatas and the demons are watching this beautiful form of Lord Ajita Megha Shama, blackish like a cloud, wearing yellow garments. Kanaka Paridhi, Karna Vidyota Vidyutaha. Very beautiful description of the Lord is given. Wearing beautiful Sarakadharaha, wearing a beautiful flower garland. So they were all taking this beautiful darshan of the Lord as he was churning the milk ocean. They said the Lord looked like a beautiful Indra Neela. He looked like a very, very beautiful uh, mountain, a blue colored mountain. So all the fishes, as Lord Ajita was churning, the churning was even more agitating to the ocean. The fishes, the sharks, the tortoise, the snakes, they're all agitated and perturbed. The whole ocean became perturbed. The sharks, the whales, the water elephants, the crocodiles, the Timingala fish. Who are Timingala fish? It is said Timingala fish are the largest aquatic animals in the ocean. Normally, we talk about whale as the largest mammal, isn't it? We think the whale, the blue whale, is the largest. It is said the Timingala fish is so big that it can eat a whale in one bite. Just gobble up a whale. So it is said some of these fishes, they don't come near the shore. They are deep in the oceans. So our Shastras describe that these huge Timingala fish are there, deep in the ocean. So as the whole ocean became so agitated by this churning, finally after this intense churning, the first thing came out from the ocean. What was it? It was not the nectar. It was the halahal poison. Can you imagine? After so much hard work, rather than getting Amrit, what comes out? Halal. Do you think that is going to be exciting? So when that uncontrollable, intense poison started coming up and spreading in all directions, it is said the devatas and the demons were terrified by seeing that their life and existence being threatened by this halal poison. Very, very intense poison. And it is said, the Bhagavatam says, at that point, all the devatas being guided by Lord Vishnu, along with Lord Vishnu, they all went and approached Lord Shiva, Sada Shiva, for shelter, saying, "Oh Lord Shiva, please help us in this situation." Okay, so I'm going to pause here because uh, we'll not be able to complete the chapter today. We are roughly halfway. And now begins a very interesting part of the pastime after the devatas approach Lord Shiva. And there are many wonderful lessons of why Lord Shiva is approached, why Lord Vishnu encouraged the devatas to approach Lord Shiva. So there are a lot of beautiful, interesting philosophical points here, which Srila Prabhupada explains. So we'll discuss that in the next class. So you have 10 more minutes. So if there are any questions or comments on what we have discussed so far, I am happy to take them.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Yes, Shridhar Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Srihari lies on Sheshanag, right? Is that Sheshanag like Sankarshan, Balrama?
They are all expansions. So all the Ananta is an expansion. So Ananta and Shesha are slightly different. So actually, Actually, technically, Shesha is the one who is supporting the Bhumandala at the bottom. So, the Nagas are in the Bilaswarga, correct? So they are in the Bilaswarga, so they are in the lowest part. So the lowest part of the Bhumandal, which is Patala, is where these Nagas are residing. And that is the part which is supported by Shesha with his hoods, so that the whole Bhumandal disc remains above the Garbhoda Kosha. So again the question is, who is supporting Shesha? Because the ocean is down. So it is said the Lord in the form of Kurma, the original Kurma, is in the Garbhoda Kosha. Huge Kurma. On the back of Kurma is Shesha. And on the hoods of Shesha, the whole Bhumandal disc is supported. The Lord on whom Lord Vishnu reclines. So this Shesha, even though he is empowered by Lord Balaram, is not considered directly the Lord himself. This is the Shesha who received, there is a beautiful Bhagavad Katha which is described, Bhagavatam talk, which is described, I think it was with the Kumaras if I am not wrong. There's a specific incarnation of the Lord which had an interaction with this Shesha. It's not coming to my mind exactly that pastime. But anyway, there's a particular pastime associated with this Shesha. But the Lord on which Lord Vishnu, the serpent on which Lord Vishnu reclines, Shirodakshay Vishnu, he is Ananta. So that particular form of the Lord is directly an expansion of the Supreme Lord. So this Shesha can be seen as a Shaktyavesh in the sense that he is empowered to hold the planets, the whole Bhumandal on his hoods. But Ananta is the Lord who is the expansion of Balram, on whom the Lord personally reclines. So sometimes we say Ananta Shesha, but actually Ananta is different and Shesha is different. But both are snakes.
Yeah, got it, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Very good.
Any other question or comment? Jai, thank you so much. So we'll continue our class the next time, next Saturday. Tomorrow is Ekadashi fasting. So please keep that in mind. Today is also the return Rath Yatra in Puri. Lord Jagannath is coming back home. And he's going to have a tough time because as soon as he reaches his home, Lakshmi Devi is going to be closing the door. Saying, where you went? You went to meet your girlfriends. Don't come back home. So then he has to somehow, he has to make her happy and get entrance back into his home. So there are some sweet pastimes which happen at the door of Jagannath temple. So you can read about them. If you search the net, you'll find those beautiful descriptions of Jagannath's return. So let us pray to Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra that we also receive their blessings, Lakshmi Devi and all the gopis headed by Radharani, that all these pastimes attract our hearts, that we become purified and qualified to one day be able to experience and relish these pastimes in their true spiritual nature. Thank you all very much. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Sambet Gaur. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Hare
everyone.
Krishna, Prabhu.